Hi, just really, I just really want to come here and actually do a side note over here, a quick one. Um, I think after this Leetcode question, I just feel that after hearing what they actually talk about, I just feel that the most important thing is that as long as you can actually run through operation, it's fine. Because based on my previous experience, based on my previous video specifically, it's saying that, oh, I am actually able to actually really smoothly run through every single operation. And then I'm kind of like doubting, is this everything? Yes, it is everything. It is everything. Okay. And um like this legal question specific, it just reminds me that on my previous experience says that operations is all it matters. Like as long as you are able to actually run the operations, there's no hidden agenda or anything like that say that, oh, there's some secret skill that you can actually learn. There's no such thing as that, like after just going through that experience, it's just really, as long as you understand the operation per se, very good. Oh, it's okay. So now, right back into this agenda of the video. I mean, binary tree. This question is asking about tree, and it's like without anything further to do, like let's start establishing. I mean, the character that we're playing over here is tree, and it falls under the category of like BFS, binary first search. So this character casts spells that is of and legal question always will have a certain rule book, of course, and then we obviously have like the playout series. We have the core objective of the questions. So I mean, the core objective of the question is basically put this item in the breadth order based on like a list. That's all it's actually trying to ask, right? Put everything of this into a list, done, in the breadth sequence. So 3, 20, 15, 37. Cool. Come into the playout series. And to me, a lot to do with trees is a lot to do with how you actually am able to actually run every single operation and know what mechanisms were involved, what properties are involved. That to me, I think if you get that honed down, you are able to solve tree out of the water. So cool. Come to here. So first thing first, we have the tree, right? This is the first item that we actually see. Cool. So now, first operation Z is to actually add the value in to our queue, right? Cool. And operation Y is to actually print out into our list of the item. So now we print out, we add it into our list. Cool. And operation X is to pop the value. So pop the value. Cool. And before we pop the value, we have like a operation U where we add these children. So it's always add the left children to the right children. Operation U, it's always adding the left children's add left, then right. So that's what U operation is doing. At left and then right. So at 9, at a 20. Before you operation X and cancel the last value, it is. So now obviously we come to 9. We're gonna perform like with Z is to actually add the value. With Y, we add them to the new list, and then we operation U, add the children, and then followed by X, and then we proceed on to Z. So for Z operation is to add the item. Y is to add to list. Z is to add to queue. U is to add children. X is to remove the last data. So we just constantly am running through this item as we reiterate transverse the whole entire tree. So how we transverse, how we actually maneuver around the map is going so first and foremost, we add 9 and 20, we add the children. Cool. And then now next we add to the list. So we add the new, we go to operation Y, add 9 and 20, go to operation U, we try to add potential children, but for this case there's no children over here, so cool, but 20 there's children. Alright, so like before we pop this off, we add these children, put the 15th and put the 7 over here. Before we actually remove from the list 9 and 20 out of the list. And then now we try to add, go to operation Y, add them to the list, our new items 15 and 7. Cool. Add children, there's obviously no children anymore, so we remove every single data that we see. And there's an additional operation operation L over here, which is that if say that if the Q is 0, it just indicates that there's no more nodes left, and we just return to the system saying that alright, we're done, go back to the system, the whole node, we're done with everything. And that's the whole operation of like this item. And yeah, so in terms of like rule book, when we actually talk about, it's really just talking about breadth first search. To me, at least, when I'm talking about like the entirety of the equation, to me it just falls under the category of like BFS. When you talk about BFS, it's this whole entire thing, and just illustrates that so much. But I mean, obviously, in the passive spells for the characters, sure, we are actually fundamentally we're casting passive spells of like Q. We're using passive spell of like list to actually help us to be able to conduct this whole BFS. I feel like in order for BFS, this 3 BFS to actually work, it just requires all these passive spells to actually work hand in hand with BFS. Right? So, I mean, for whatever this BFS thing has been able to actually done, I just feel that they are conducting these multiple operations. I think first and foremost, it's like there's some form of like smart maneuver that's actually happening. Alright, over here when go to 3, it always go to the left hand side first, so it just indicates a spell smart maneuver around map. Okay, that's one indication. The moment that this item knows to actually always go to the left and then the right, left and then the right, smart maneuver. One powerful thing is also this. It's like it's able to actually segregate level by level. Isn't that amazing? So like it's able to actually segregate level. That is actually crazy, like it adds this level, and this level. And how is it able to do it? It uses the passive spell Q. It uses the passive spell Q, and it also involves of like the smart maneuver around the map for it to actually move like this. It's tapping into the spell of 3 BFS. Okay. like the like what like one of like the passive spell I'll actually argue over here is that BFS, it actually has like a inbuilt passive spell, which is being able to actually smartly maneuver around the map. Go to the left side before going to the right side. And then with the Q, with like the property of Q, it's able to actually, because the thing about Q is that first in first out. Using that, it's able to actually remove the appropriate data, so that the next time that we move to the next data, we are actually able to actually cancel out our last level, and for this case cancel out 3, for this case cancel out the 9 and 20 before we move on to the next level. Every time we want to go to the next level, we are actually able to actually cancel out the whole entirety of the current level, the previous level per se. Really beautiful. Like I think these operations and whatnot have you, it just kind of like draws a lot of like inspiration for us to actually being able to actually tackle onto the future legal questions. All right. I mean, with anything, there's always the brute force that always wants to actually challenge our characters, right? So I mean, I'll just bring in the smart maneuver. Brute force, you can't be able to actually smartly maneuver towards left side. The moment you go to the right side, operation and you're out of the rulebook. If the rulebook asks you, you really want to actually smartly maneuver, you go to the right side, I'm sorry, you're out. And whatever you're losing over here is basically a inbuilt feature, inbuilt passive spell by BFS. That's what you're losing, Mr. Brute Force. So yeah. So I mean with that, everything comes to an end.